Hello and welcome to Catacris Magazine. We can be found on the web at www.catacris.com. My name is Jason J. Rock Houston, and today we're speaking with lead singer, rhythm guitarist Jammie Bosstel from the band Bosstel. How you doing today, Jammie?
All right, man. How you doing?
I've been looking forward to talking to you. I'm doing good. You're the one that reached out to me. I guess you were kind of aware of our This Is Metal show and some of the other and our regular website. So. I was kind of interested how you discovered us, if you don't mind me asking.
Well, a guy that does your metal show with you, Joe Lawson, and I go way back.
Oh, you want to tell us a little bit about that? How you know Joe?
Oh man, 1993, I was in a band called Rainbow Fall, and Joe was in a band called Blind Rage, and we used to do shows together.
Yeah.
But before that, his guitar player went to high school with me, and they actually practiced at my house a couple times when we were in high school.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I gotta say, Joe was my real inspiration for the This Is Metal show, because I don't know if you know the story, but I'd interviewed him once for the show like I'm doing with you today, and we were talking specifically about Wasp being one of his influences, and about the Wasp album. One of the Wasp albums, I think it was the fourth one with that song "Forever Free." Headless Children, that's it. And like when I got done doing the interview with Joe, I was like, man, this guy is he knows his metal. I mean, I'm a metal fan too, but
totally.
but he's deep into metal. He knows about stuff that I'm not even really aware of, and that's what I enjoy doing the show with him. Like we have a lot of the same bands that we're a fan of, and then like he turns me on to stuff like that I probably wouldn't have even checked out otherwise. That's the cool thing with that show that I think we've kind of accomplished.
Yeah, I've checked it out. I've listened to it, because, like I said, him and I go way back. He lives in Chesterton, out of South Bend.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him probably a long time, but we still stay in touch. I talk to him now and then on Facebook. He's just one of those people that, when you talk to him, just like, just an old friend, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing too. When I was interviewing him, the first time, I mean, right away, friendly, down-to-earth guy. He's so easy to talk to. So I thought, doing a show like This Is Metal, I mean, he was one of the first people I thought of. It was such a natural thing. But let's talk today about your band, Bosstel. How long has the band been together?
The band recently, honestly, the band started this year.
Oh, okay.
But it started during the pandemic.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, I played in another band, and my band wasn't playing out as much because of most bands weren't playing out.
Oh, sure.
And it's kind of funny, to bring up Joe again. He had told me that he had got signed to a label with his band's
Scream King.
Scream King.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was the other band.
Dragon Lore. Yeah,
Dragon Lore. I think got signed to a label out of Germany. And I was like, really, man? He told me to check out the recording and stuff. He told me, because I know him, and like I said, we stay in touch and stuff. And he told me that him and his guitar player basically did the album himself.
Yeah, roughly.
And I said, who played the drums? And he said, oh, the drums are programmed. I was like, really?
Wow.
I was like, wow, because I've known about it that you could do that. And I was like, man, if Joe can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
So I started a little studio in my house, and I started just recording songs, and I just kept putting songs out online. Got people talking. I've got 2 songs on a 12-inch vinyl, Down the River and Vendetta.
Oh, wow.
That I passed out at some of my acoustic. I opened for John Corabi acoustically, and I passed out some records there. And just the feedback from the stuff was like, wow, man, this stuff's really good. And when things open up, maybe you should put a band together. I was like, at the time, I was so. Because I've had bands not work out.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I don't know if I want to do that, And 1997, I played with a guy. Actually, Joe played with a guy too. His name is Justin Mayberry. I played with him in a band called Dig Pin, and our bass player, his name was Ryan Kripe.
Oh, wow.
I stayed in touch with Ryan for years. He went to Afghanistan. He was in the Marines.
Oh.
Well, he retired, and he moved back here, and he's like, dude, I want to play with you. And I was like, okay, well, I got these songs. I showed him the songs. He goes, dude, we should put a band together with this stuff. And I was like, okay, well, here's the catch-22. I played all the parts. I wrote the songs, put everything together. How are we going to find a guitar player that's going to want to do what I tell them to do?
Yeah.
As far as, like, I'm writing, because I know guitar players, they want their own, you know?
Yeah.
I actually found some guys that like the stuff and they like being a part of it. It's working out great. My other band, Praise the Fallen, was doing an EP.
Yeah.
And we were recording at the studio that Bosstel also records at now. And the producer happened to be a drummer. And basically I asked him, I go, would you be interested in playing drums for me? His name's Wayne Russell.
Okay.
He produced Praise the Fallen's last EP. Wayne's like, I like this stuff. It's different. It's unique. So right at the gate, man, we put the band together. We did 3 shows for Save and Able.
Yeah.
We opened for Texas Hippie Coalition.
Oh, wow.
And we opened for Otherwise. And the response we got from people was like, I really like this. It's different.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
My other band's more guitar, bass, drums, just straight up raw rock and roll. Whereas this has an ambience to it and some loops, and there are some backing tracks and stuff like that. And I was very against that, you know. But Wayne had showed me like this stuff is pretty cool on stage. It's fun, and that I did it. It started, like I said, just here in a bedroom studio, recording the songs with the ambience and the loops and stuff. I was like, I'm gonna put something out. As far as calling it my last name, which wasn't my idea. My band members told me we should do that. I was like, well, if I'm going to do something different, it's got to be different than my other band. My other band is, you know, if I do that, it's going to sound the same. So the difference is the ambience, the loops, the electronics and stuff, plus elements of metal and rock in it. So, it's fun.
Yeah, and prepping for an interview today, you know, Jammie, I went on and I was checking out some of your songs, and the thing of it is the first thing I did notice was the name, Bosstel, okay, and I'm like, okay, first of all, right off the bat, pretty strong name, Bosstel. It kind of, I don't know, has a metal sound to it. It sounds strong, kind of like Van Halen. It's one syllable. And so I think it works that way. And I'm assuming that your previous bands you've been in, probably like a lot of people, you're always playing in other people's bands. So what's it like to kind of, you know, finally, you know, have your own band where you can call the shots? You're not kind of a hired gun being told what to do?
Well, I've been in bands where I was a singer and, you know, a guitar player, I'm not going to say this person's name, but a guitar player had, you know, dictated everything I was supposed to do. And I was like struggling with that because I've always known I'm a songwriter. You know. Long story short, that band fell apart due to basically that guy not compromising and wanting to write some of my songs. He just wanted me to stand there with a microphone and sing on top of his riffs.
Yeah, and how much of that was ego versus, let's be honest, it's a music business, and if you're, you know, if you own the band and you own the name and you know, you're doing most of the writing, most of the royalties is going to go to you versus the other guys in the band.
Maybe they had that fear. I don't know. We were the Jägermeister band. We sponsored by Jägermeister, and we did really well, and we were doing really good with everything. Every time we went to a producer that was part of a label or part of that, they would catch wind. The one song that we wrote, the one big song that they were interested in the band for was the one I wrote. Wow. So there were signs. I was just innocently in a band at the time, and there were signs, you know, going through my head like maybe I, you know, should form my own band, write my songs with other guys that want to do my songs, you know, because I just wanted to be in a band. And I mean, let's face it, this geographic area, there's not a lot to choose from. I want to go extra mile, you know. As far as the traveling and the work ethic that goes into an actual working band, you know. And so at the time, I'm just happy to be in a band. And it's okay, I'll sing on top of your wrist, but in the back of my mind, I'm writing songs on the side, and like, man, I really wish these guys would try my songs, you know. But it ended up working out anyway. But yeah, I totally get that. I don't know, man. I think a big part of it was ego. Or fear that someone may find out that, you know, their singer is actually a songwriter too, that he's not just a singer.
Yeah.
I don't know why that happens.
I mean, even look at a band like Skid Row. Their first 2 albums, multi-platinum band, and they've had every opportunity to reunite with the original singer, but they there's just so much tension and friction between the parties. They would rather not do it, and so there is something said for being happy and and being happy with what you're doing. But another thing I could tell right away, not just by listening to your songs, that you're a songwriter, because this caught my eye when I was checking out your Facebook page. This quote: "Song is king, so check your ego and pride at the door." I mean, that kind of speaks volumes. It really kind of sums up your whole attitude of what you were just talking about.
Yeah, totally. What I mean by that is, let's say you have a band member. It's like,
sure.
Hey, I really want my guitar part to be like 12 measures long or whatever, or my bass part or whatever. And it's like, well, you got to think about the listener. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about the song.
Sure.
When you're there for the listener. You're putting the song together for a listener to enjoy. You're not. Yeah, I mean, you might be into like writing Dream Theater opuses and stuff like that, but the only person that's really going to get that is Dream Theater, or our musicians. Mainly, we have such a short attention span these days that people want it right now and gone. So you better grab them right away. And that's my whole thing, is making sure you get to the hook right away, and the first thing that comes off your lips, it has to grab them as far as lyrics and that.
And again, in prepping for the interview, I went on YouTube and was checking out a couple of your songs now. The two I checked out were World Out of View, lyric video, and that's from 2022. And to me, it just seems kind of you got your finger on the pulse of what's going on in the world today. And I listen to the song, and I kind of get it. And what I love about the song is, you're not really saying what side you're on, or this side versus that side. You're just kind of taking a look at the world and how it is today.
Yeah, that's kind of what the song's about. It's about social media and how we measure ourselves by likes and popularity and all that, and how we've developed a dependency on that too much.
Yeah.
And that's why I say in the song, get your numbers up and you'll be all the hype.
Yeah.
Well, there's bands out there that have low numbers on Spotify that are great.
Yeah. Oh, sure. I mean, and
people
it's
take the time to actually check the stuff out, check bands out and stuff like that.
And it's not it's not just that. They really do manipulate it. I mean, for example, even if you visit my site, it's amazing. I did a great interview with legendary drummer like Carmine Apiece. It gets like 10 views, and then there's an interview I did with a band that's just up and coming, and not too many people's heard of them, and it gets like 5K hits. I mean, how is that possible?
Yeah, I don't know. Believe me, I used to be hard on myself about that too. I'm like, man,
No, it's not so much that I'm hard on myself, because I love doing what I do, and so I continue to do it. But I'm like, I just ask myself, because I know that they do manipulate what people see, and and it's just amazing that you see stuff like that. Even I've had people that I'm friends with on Facebook tell me that a lot of people don't see their stuff. Facebook hides it because, just somebody simply says they're a Donald Trump supporter, and okay, we can't allow you to have your views put out there. We don't agree with that, and they try to shut people down just because they have different views or different opinions, and that's another way they do it.
I'm not on either side of that.
But I guess I'm more on the side of free speech.
Yeah, man, I don't really do the politics thing. I'm an artist, and I don't know. I just don't. I never got roped into all that. I see a lot of people get worked up like that. I've seen people have heart attacks and stuff because they stress themselves out.
Well, I'm with you there. It's
stuff like that.
I'm with you there. I mean, like, as far as who's president, like, I just say this: whoever is currently holding that position, they're going to be there for at least 4 years, and then at the end of the 4-year term, it's people's decision who they want to vote into office, and it's not worth getting arrested over. It's not worth getting killed over. That's just ridiculous.
No, it's not. I don't know. I feel like as a musician, I'm here to I don't know, inspire people and put a little light into people's lives. Things are a little dark now in the world right now as it is. You know?
Yeah.
And we need some light, and that's what I'm on this earth for. That's how I look at it.
Oh, sure. And I think even posting your videos and your songs is a way to do that, because like I said, I listen to the song and I get right away what the song's about, but that's kind of what I enjoyed about it. I can listen to the song and get what it's about without knowing necessarily what side you're on, and it's a good song.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. The song's not about politics at all. It's just about
the state of a world. Yeah.
It's all about how, man, the suicide rates have gone up because, social media, people are just so dependent on everything, on the popularity,
Yeah.
Somebody's life looks great in pictures, and somebody else whose life ain't so great is all they see is that picture, and in their mind they think, oh, that person's better than me, and this insecurity comes in, and it's just craziness,
Yeah, I mean, perfect example.
About it,
yeah. Perfect example of that is the actor, comedian Robin Williams a few years ago hung himself, and you come to find out he was a severe alcoholic and suffered from depression. But, people had that image of him publicly because he was always making people laugh. And so you think, oh, this guy's living the life, and how the hell could he not be happy? And how the hell? And then you hear about the way he ended his life, and you're like, oh my God. No, and even his closest family members said they had no idea really that he was that severely depressed,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get stuff like that. And like I said, I'm just here to,
entertain, right? And
entertain, inspire. I do have some metal songs and stuff where things get dark for a minute, but for the most part, I try to keep things up and inspiring in a way. It still rocks and has edge and grit, but try to keep it inspiring and lift people up. I think a lot of songs are missing the message these days.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And I think too, with a band like Bosstel, the power of the internet what's cool is you're able to get your music out there, and you don't necessarily need a record deal like you did back in the day for anybody to hear your music. And it's kind of interesting, your little corner of the world, more people are hearing about Bosstel than just where you live,
Yeah. I'll tell you something off air about a label that contacted me.
Sure.
But my whole thing and my whole focus was, as far as because I've played a lot of shows, I've opened for a lot of nationals, I played with the drummer from Enough's Enough. He was in my band out in Chicago. My guitar player in Praise the Fallen in 2009 was John Sturr from Willie Axe. So I've played people in the industry. I've recorded with Corey Lowry, who was a guitar player for Seether.
Oh, sure.
So I've been close, man.
Yeah.
And I finally just stepped back. I said, I did all these shows, I did all this stuff, tried to get, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Tried to get signed, tried to go the distance.
Sure.
And whether it's band members or whether it's just not the right time or, somebody's doing drugs in your band or whatever, I just got to the point, it's like, man, I just want to write great songs. And if I have to do it by myself, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So when the pandemic hit, for the longest time, I was intimidated by technology because I'm old school, man. The band just goes to the studio, we pay for it, record, and everybody chips in. But I felt at that time, I was like, this is a good time for me to learn this.
Yeah.
I want to do this. I had a friend, his name was Randy Bickett. We call him my executive producer.
Yeah.
My friend invested in the computer and stuff and helped me. He's like, you can do this, man. I see you put all these demos together all the time. You're always always writing and being creative. You can do this. And when I started putting stuff out and it started getting, it's crazy, man, what you can do in a bedroom studio now.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's everything is at your fingertips, and I got a similar story in that I've been doing these interviews for a year, and very much like you said, that they've been old school style, like what we're doing today. I'm just I got a little digital recorder here as I'm talking in. We're recording and talking over our cell phones, and then I sent it off to some guy, and he posted on the site. It's amazing what you could do, and I've kind of been wanting to go modern age, if you will, with the modern technology, and start doing these Zoom interviews. And I have a friend of mine too to thank for that, because I'm not too tech savvy, and I was kind of I don't know, kind of apprehensive, like, oh, I don't know if I can be able to learn how to do this. But I had a friend too of mine who kind of a guy who plays in a Kiss tribute band. His name is Jason Lee Beckwith. I've interviewed him many times, and he finally said, hey, why don't we try doing a Zoom interview? And then, he says, well, I'm not really sure how to even record it. He says, well, we can do it, and I can record it on my end. And then he later told me, so how was that? Did you enjoy doing it? I said, you know what? I've been wanting to do that, and it was a lot of fun. He kind of off air, he told me, well, okay, what you're going to need to invest in is a laptop and this and that. And I did it over the Christmas holiday. In fact, somebody gave me the laptop, and I just started doing it. And I can't tell you, I'm so happy that my friend encouraged me to do that, and I finally embraced this modern technology, because I tell you, it's a new way of doing it, but it's been a truckload of fun,
Yeah, same here, man. Like, the whole time I was intimidated, didn't think I could do it.
Yeah.
And then once I dove into it, not only could I do it, but I've had people come to me like, dude, your recording quality is amazing. You're coming out of your bedroom. I've had 6 songs, Bosstel songs, on the radio, on FM radio, on our local FM station here in town.
Yeah, and that's amazing, coming out of your little bedroom studio. But the thing is, if you had never put those songs out there, we probably wouldn't even be talking to you today. Nobody would be hearing those songs. And
my whole thing is, shows are great and everything and all that. And there's a lot of bands out there that are anxious to get out there and play shows and stuff. But I always tell bands, new bands, like, get a product first. Get the songs, make sure the songs are strong. Right when you come out the gate, those songs are strong, you're going to draw people in a lot faster.
Yeah.
We have to put it musicians have to put it in our hands to where we're not asking venues to book us. We need to get it to the point where venues are asking for us to play for them.
Yeah.
And I feel the way we're going to do that is by creating something that's in demand.
Oh, sure.
That will be in popular demand. That's definitely a lot easier than having to beg for a show,
Oh, yeah. But you do what you have to get your name out there. I mean, you're already ahead of the game in many ways. I mean, like you told me at the top interview that you opened a show, an acoustic show or something for John Corabi. Not everybody can say that, and I don't know, maybe after.
Dude, I opened for him once, and then I got asked to come back and open for him and Richie Kotzen.
Oh, wow.
And then he was back. He was behind the curtain, after I played.
Yeah.
He was standing behind me on stage, and I was like, "Hey, John, how's it going?" I go, "I don't know if you remember me." I opened for you before. He goes, "Yeah, I might be old." He goes, "But I remember you."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, that's awesome, man." I was flattered that he just remembered me. It was an honor. Absolutely cool guy. He hung out with me at my merch table. I gave him a record. I hung out with his son Ian. His son Ian's the drummer. He plays in Rehab, a band called Rehab.
Yeah.
Ian was cool too. Both of them hung out with me, and it was so cool. That they were just down to earth dudes like that. I've met some that aren't like that.
Oh yeah, I never met John in person, but I've had the chance to interview him twice. Super cool, down to earth guy, like you said. And I've heard stories about Ronnie James Dio where he had a super memory where he'd meet fans, he'd see same fans year after year on the road, and he'd actually remember, he wouldn't see these fans maybe for another year, and he'd recognize them, and he'd go up and call them out by name, and they were just so amazed that somebody like Ronnie James Dio remembered their name. Yeah.
The whole Bosstel thing came up. I put it up for vote because I wasn't sure of it, because we had a couple other band names. Because I had Brian, the bass player. I told you I've been my friend for a long time, wanted to play with me. I said, what should we call this? He goes, let's call it Bosstel. I'm like, really? That's weird. It's my last name,
Well,
I never thought of that. And then also, me being who I am, I'm like, well, what are people going to think? And I think I'm big-headed or something if I call it my last name.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, even I heard the story of how, they came to call Van Halen. I mean, like even David Lee Roth says, oh, what are we going to call the band? Roth? I mean, that sounds like a fruit.
Right.
Van Halen. Van Halen sounds more, I don't know, just one syllable. Sounds like a strong name. And I think Bosstel, too, is very, I, of course, knew it was your name, but I thought, okay, that kind of tells you what it is. It is a strong name, And the thing too is, if this is really, I get what you're saying, that you're a band guy and you're all about letting everybody contribute to the band, and it's about a partnership. But at the same time, if the band is successful or if it fails, it kind of, calling it Bosstel, it kind of all falls with you. And I think immediately when people see the name Bosstel, they go to your Facebook page. Okay, who's Bosstel? Okay, he's a lead singer. He's a rhythm guitarist. And being the front man, it makes sense too that people come see you guys in concert. It's in any band that the main focus is on typically the lead singer or the lead guitarist.
I've always I had a band in Chicago. I wrote the songs in that band.
Yeah.
I'm just one of those guys who was in a band. Like, you didn't have to call it my name, but behind the scenes, I was writing the songs for the band.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things where Ryan, like I said, my friend Ryan, he was like, dude, he's like, you should. Yeah. It is you. Yeah. You're doing this, so it's you. It's like, okay. And I said, well, let's do it on social media, on Facebook. And everybody said, oh, Bosstel. Really?
Yeah.
That was what the public wanted.
And here's the thing, too, Jammie, is by calling it Bosstel, I mean, I get that you want to be a partnership with everybody in the band, but by calling it Bosstel, you're the one guy in the band that can never get fired.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been fired in other bands.
No, I get it. But
yeah. I've had bands, hey man, you're fired. I'm like, hey.
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of funny
but and again, like I said, your own. You got to think of like your own self-promoting team. I mean, right now you don't have a record company, so you got to promote all your stuff. And I'll be honest with you. I'd never heard of Bosstel or knew anything about you. The only reason I'm talking to you today is because you reached out to me. In fact, and I give you a lot of credit because not just for reaching out to me, but because you really kind of were, like I explained today. Hey, I've been between my day job and booking other interviews. I'm really busy, but I told myself, okay, I got to get hold of this Bosstel guy and schedule his interview because and then the more I checked out your stuff, I said, oh yeah, well this is really worth. Doing an interview and checking his stuff out. I'm glad you did it because now, and see, that's the thing. Your songs are really, like you say, they're really. It's about the song, and any band worth its salt, it's about the song. I mean, let's be honest. I listen typically to hard rock and metal, but I have an appreciation for stuff like the Eagles and Tom Petty, the Rolling Stones. You know why? Those are songs been played on the radio for 40 to almost 50 years. There's a reason people are still listening to those songs, just because they're good songs, period.
I've had fallouts with bands that fell apart and stuff.
Yeah.
I've always told them, some of these, I won't name anybody.
Yeah.
Some of these people still hold a grudge to this day, and it's like, look, man, we created memories and we created great songs. Why don't you hang on to that rather than
there you go.
Whatever your problem is. Yeah. Like, I don't know, I think it's silly when for instance, you have your situation like Rat.
Oh, sure.
Just an example, like, when I hear, like, interviews with Stephen Pierce, Rat will never be the same. I'm like, dude, it's not the songs, man.
Yeah.
The audience wants to hear the songs. They don't care what guitar player's playing it. They know Robin Crosby's not alive.
Yeah. I mean, to give him a little bit of credit, I hear what you're saying, but I think he's so sick of the feuding that he can't get the other three guys to agree to anything, and
but that's the thing. It's about the songs.
Yeah.
Their heads, they're so you guys need to realize. I'm not saying that talking trash, but you guys are older, man. Grow up. Realize it's about the songs. It's about your audience. It ain't about whatever your problem is, what you're hanging on to, silly.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel when I hear, even as a fan and hearing about this stuff, like, man, they should just get together for the fucking songs, man.
Yeah.
The songs are great. That's just one example of a band. There's other bands, bands that, like, man, I wish they get back together because their songs were great.
I mean, I've even heard some current stories going around about Motley Crue. Mick Mars has left Motley Crue, or supposedly he was asked to leave. I don't know. And now there's rumors that they're trying to kick Vince Neil out and get Scott Stapp from Creed. I don't know how.
What?
Yeah, I don't know how true that is, but there are rumors. And then supposedly Nikki Sixx has put a stop to like Vince Neil can go out and do solo shows, but he's not allowed to sing Motley Crue songs because Nicky wrote all the songs.
That's silly stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Silly. Well, like, okay, one of my favorite '90s band is Live. The band Live.
Yeah, sure.
They got a lot of turmoil going on in that band, and it's like, man, it's about your audience and the songs, man. Yeah, I get it, money, everyone's caught up in money, and then you got a guy like me who's been trying for years to get on their level, who can't even get there. Yeah. You got guys that on that level, and all they're doing is fighting about money. It's like, don't you have enough?
Yeah, and then from your own experience of meeting John Corabi and getting to, do a show opening for him. I mean, what a huge talent he is. I had to laugh when, a few years back, Nikki Sixx was doing an interview, and he was telling the interviewer how that, it was a struggle working with John Corabi because he had to teach Corabi how to write songs. I'm like, oh, who are you kidding?
I doubt that, man.
Yeah.
I think probably what it was I don't know. I get a vibe because, like I said, my own experience, I've had bands fall apart because a member in my band. Suddenly, I don't know why it happens in a lot of bands. One of the members will become jealous that you're more talented than them. Rather than being jealous of that and having so much pride, why don't you reach out to that person and say, hey, how can I get as good as you? Why don't you help me and teach me? But so many, especially men, we're so boisterous and like, I've got too much pride to admit that this guy's better at something than I am.
Yeah, I mean, the greatest example of that is, I don't know if you've ever heard of a classic rock band, Creedence Clearwater Revival, but the main guy in that, John Fogerty, he formed a band with his older brother Tom, and by the end of the band, he hated his brother, and even after his brother died, he talked shit about him, and he was like, oh, everybody calls them Creedence songs. No, they're not Creedence songs. They're John Fogerty songs. I wrote them. So it's just funny that people could have that kind of ego and not even realize that, okay, yeah, maybe I wrote a lot of the stuff, but everybody else, contributed. It wouldn't be the same band. And in Creedence's case, it was very true that the older brother, eventually left, and after he left, they broke up like a year later, because it just wasn't the same.
Oh yeah, I've had members say, "You're never gonna make it without me." Yeah. I'm like, okay, I never let anybody tell me I couldn't do something.
Oh yeah. I mean,
that's usually they're talking out of insecurity usually.
I mean, let's be honest. Like even a guy like Nikki Sixx, he's successful at a whole bunch of things, and he's made a ton of money since Motley Crue. But why does he keep going back to Motley Crue? That's his bread and butter. He knows that's a sure guarantee.
Yeah. I don't know. 6 a.m. was pretty good.
No, that's what I mean. I mean, he doesn't necessarily need it, but why did he choose to put 6 a.m. on the side and go back to Motley Crue? That's what I'm saying. I guess it just even more money. I don't know, but I love all those guys. Anyways, I love Motley Crue and everything they've done, and so what's next up for Bosstel? I mean, obviously are you working towards a full? Is it a full length or EP?
We're working on an EP right now. We're talking February 25th. We're supposed to work on our first music video.
Oh, okay.
We have a single coming out called "This War." Okay. It's going to be awesome. I'll send it to you through Messenger. I'll let you hear it.
Sure.
It's already done. I'll let you hear it, but don't be sharing it with anybody.
No, of course not. Of course, we respect that.
Oh, yeah, and we can't wait. I'm constantly writing, putting stuff together, sending it over to Wayne. Let me talk about the members as well.
Okay, sure.
I've got Dennis Kilton on lead guitar. I've got Wayne Russell on drums. Me on vocals, guitar, and Ryan Kripe on bass. And we may be adding another guitar player here soon too, because we want to get it to where it's show worthy. My other band, I play guitar and sing.
Okay.
This band, I want to write the songs. I have that ability, but I just want to sing the songs because I need to put on a show as a frontman and not just be held down by a guitar.
I got you. So
that's what our goal is.
So so I was curious, when you first started playing music, how old were you? And I was kind of curious, did you start out like a lot of people on the guitar and then kind of became a singer out of necessity?
No, I started playing trumpet.
Oh wow!
I played trumpet. God, I always tell people I started playing trumpet in like 4th grade, so I don't remember how old I was in 4th grade.
Yeah, okay, I got you. Okay.
But yeah, I started playing trumpet in 4th grade. Then I just went through band in middle school and high school. I played trumpet, played French horn. I was always curious. I was like, the drum line was cool, so I hung out with the drummers, and then I liked hanging out with the drummers, and I wanted to learn drums, so then I learned how to play the drums. And I wanted to be a drummer. I was like, playing drums is cool. You know, I actually sat down to Long Cold Winter by Cinderella and taught myself how to play drums.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was drumming, and then I was in the United States Air Force. I lived in California, Sacramento. Mason Air Force Base was in Sacramento, out there. And I was dabbling in the rec room with a guitar player that was on bass, whatever. And we ended up forming a band in Sacramento, California. And he had I don't know if you've ever been to Sacramento. There's a music store called Skip's Music.
I never heard of that, but I've been to Sacramento. Yeah, okay.
But they had this thing where they had a battle of bands. And they had people come from all over different states to get together, stay in a hotel for like 3 months or something. They put like 3 songs together. The winner gets recording time and stuff like that.
Wow.
Well, long story short, they lost their singer the night before the contest.
Wow.
And I had dabbled with I had a 4-track, so I was dabbling with recording and writing little songs and stuff with drum machines and stuff like that. I dabbled with keyboards and stuff too. So I was putting songs together and stuff, and my friend's like, dude, we need a singer like tomorrow. And I was like, okay. And we ended up getting 2nd place, and I ended up being a singer.
Now, what was that process like for you? I mean, as far as, did you always kind of think you could sing? Did people ever tell you, hey, you're a pretty good singer? Or did you just, it sounds like you kind of just fell into it, but...
The first time I sang was at the high, like I said, I dabbled, my best friend and we used to go to a local music store, and we used to rent some equipment, like recording equipment, and we were recording little keyboard songs and stuff.
Sure.
The drum machines and keyboards were in back then, you know. So we were doing stuff like that. I didn't even know how to play guitar then.
Wow.
And I had seen Poison. My 2nd concert I ever went to, I saw Poison.
Wow.
At the Holiday Star Plaza in Maryville. So I liked Poison a lot.
Yeah.
So the high school talent show came up, and they're like, and I was like, let's form a band, you know. So I had my friend play bass he actually played bass on the keyboards. And then we had a friend play guitar, and my buddy from marching band, he played drums. He played drums, and we did Talk Dirty to Me.
Wow.
First time I ever sang was on stage at my high school talent competition.
Oh, wow. And how did it go over?
In front of people.
Yeah.
Well, we got disqualified because it said the F word on the microphone.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
But all the kids thought we were cool.
Yeah. And,
you're so cool. You're such a rebel.
Yeah, and
no.
There's no shame in being a Poison fan. I'll tell you, I love Poison from back in the day, and if you look at Poison, like their catalog of music, all their songs got great hooks. I mean, how many Poison songs have you heard on the radio? And everybody I talked to went to the stadium tour told me actually Poison was the best band on the bill live. You know,
the Molly,
and Def Leppard, they put on one hell of a rock and roll show, and they're great at what they do. So, yeah, I got no problem with anybody loving Poison.
Yeah, I saw them back in the day when they had the fire poles and the slides.
Yeah.
Back when they first came out, it was the Open Up and Say Ah tour.
Yeah, I saw them on the very first tour. I mean, where they were opening up for Rat, and what was cool about that, Robin Crosby was still alive, and that was like, man, what a great show that was.
Yeah, I've seen them. I saw Warrant with Janie Lane.
Yeah.
I saw the Dog Eat Dog tour with Janie Lane.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it's talking about
frontman, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say, talk about Janie Lane, and Steven Tyler's another one. You talk about starting out on the drums. Those are two guys that started out as drummers, and they ended up being just super talented songwriters and frontmen.
Yeah. That's kind of what happened to me. I just, as far as like the songwriting thing, I was in a band and then the next band, and guitar players would leave, and I'd be like, man, and I would just grab an acoustic, and I would just go to like open mics and write these little songs in my living room, and then go to open mics and test them at like open mics and stuff, and play them, and it got to the point where the songs were good, and people started wanting to play with me, and then I would be the singer for the band, and then the guitar player would dip, and then I'd be like, okay, man, I can keep the band together. I guess I'm just going to grab a guitar and form a band around my songs.
That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do, I guess. And the thing of it is, Jammie, is this. I think part of the reason you're such a good songwriter, such a good musician, is the fact that is your story. I mean, you're not a guy that's just been lead singer and guitar player all your life. You've actually played other instruments. So I think when you get together with and form a band with other guys, you have just as much an understanding what the drummer is doing as you do what the bass player is doing or the other guitar player. It gives you that opportunity that not everybody has to be able to say, oh, well, I previously played the drums in this, so I kind of understand what you're doing too.
Well, it's kind of funny. Like I innocently was just like wanting to be a part of a team. Joining bands. I'm like, let's sing for you, and I'll help you out, and I'll go sing over here. This is awesome. We got a band, guys. But before you know it, I was bringing songs to these bands, and they'd be like, the one band was in '97. They're like, we're gonna do an album, but you got 2 good songs, but the rest of them, the guitar player would be like, we're doing all my stuff, So you started to see little things like, okay, there were little glimpses of like, people like that would make you feel like, okay, well maybe I'm not that good yet, So maybe I just gotta keep writing my songs on the side, go to open jams, and then next thing you know, like I said, I just got so tired of guitar players coming and going, and bands falling apart, that I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do my own thing. I was in a big band, real popular band. I won't say their name. You actually recently interviewed a band that guitar player in that band plays in now.
Oh, okay.
But what was I saying? Oh,
okay, yeah. Well,
as far as what happened, I was in a big band, and long story short, a dude comes along that was actually on MTV.
Okay.
It was actually in the industry. It was a million acts. It was John Sturr. He had come along, and like I said, I was always going to those open mics to test my songs, because I had people that I was in bands with make me feel inferior.
Oh, wow.
They'd be like, that's pretty good, but you just sing. You just keep doing, it's like they kept me on the thumb.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like you keep singing, you just keep singing. I'll write the riffs, So I was like, okay, well, let's go see one of these open jams to see how people react to this stuff. Little did I know, I go to an open mic, and a guitar player, the blonde guitar player, playing Lillian Axe, John Sturr, walks in at an open mic, sees me, and it says, hey, I know you're the singer for this so-and-so band. I'm like, because we were real popular in the region here. And he was like, I'm John Sturr from Million Acts. I'm like, get the hell out, no way. Psycho Schizophrenia, one of my favorites. Still to this day. I was like, no way. I innocently was like, well, man, because I was kind of insecure. My confidence, I was confident. I had a voice, and I was confident of my stage presence and that, but I wasn't confident about my songwriting because these people kept making me feel inferior.
Wow.
It was guitar players mainly. You're all right, but you're gonna be better if you take lessons.
I mean, even
they would talk like that and be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go to open mic. I'm not trying to be a guitar player. I'm trying to be a songwriter. There's a difference, Oh, sure. So I would go play these songs. This dude walks in, who's been there, who's been in the industry, who was a rock star, was on MTV, and he says, hey, what's up with these songs? I was like, well, these are songs my band won't play. And he was like, why? I'm like, not their style or whatever, not putting them down or anything. I was like, I guess it don't fit or whatever. And he was like, these songs are marketable. I'm like, well, you want to help me go record them? I innocently like, dude, you just want to help me? You're a guitar player. Can you help me? I got ideas, but I don't know how to play them yet, And he'd be like, and he was like, F that. He's like, we're going to make a record. And I was like, oh no.
But see, that took huge balls for you to even ask, hey, you want to help me? I mean, some guys would not do that, and they would just remain stuck. But I'll tell you, you're halfway there, because you definitely got the songwriting skill, and you got the song that, it's called the music business for a reason. I mean, people want to keep other people down. Like you're in a band with somebody, and the reason they don't want to, maybe the reason they don't want to record your songs, they don't want you getting all the royalties. They don't want you.
Man, I got stories, dude. Believe me, I've been.
Yeah.
And Joe, our buddy Joe.
Yeah.
He'll tell you too, man.
Yeah.
The music industry plays no mercy on anybody.
Oh, sure.
And man, I'll tell you what, I've been disrespected so many times by bigger people.
Sure.
I'm not gonna say names so I don't get in trouble, but there's some people out there still rocking in national bands that disrespected me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was because I was intimidating to them.
Yeah.
Or whatever, that I'm just a nobody.
Yeah.
I'm just a factory worker, man, writing songs in my bedroom, recording them and putting them out there, and hoping to God that somebody big comes along and hears that and goes and pulls me out of the factory and goes, hey, you should be doing this for a living.
Yeah, well, the thing with that, Jammie, is, I keep going back to this, but it's easy to go back to, like, the fact that you opened a show for John Corabi, you may be, he keeps bringing that up, what's the big, but I've never opened a show for, John Corabi. Half the people.
I know.
I'm just saying.
I've opened for you, got Puddle of Mud coming up, right? Did you interview him or something? I thought I saw something.
No, not on my page, not yet. But that's a band I might want to interview. But my point being is, these other guys that tell you, your songs aren't good. Have they opened a show for John Corabi? Maybe not. I don't know. Did they have him come up and tell them how good they thought, and he actually remembered who they were? Probably. I even remember Brian May in an interview talking about how Queen started having a lot of issues where they were having trouble getting along, the guys in Queen, because early on they were writing together, and then it got to a point where everybody wanted to have their song go to number one or something like that, and they were competing who could have a bigger hit. And that's what happens with a lot of the bands that eventually get big.
Yeah, I was in a Jägermeister band. I opened for Stain in 3 Days Grace. About 14,000 people.
Yeah, wow.
So I had my taste of that.
Yeah.
And going from being larger than life to suddenly being, it's like, as soon as you decide to follow your heart, everybody disappeared.
Yeah, but
as far as like fans of that band and that, it's like, hey, follow what I'm doing now. It's better in my opinion.
Yeah, you just got to keep doing stuff like you're doing today, doing doing interviews like this, talking about your band to as many people as you can, putting the music out there on your site, putting it up on. See, that's the thing. That's how you know if anybody's listening. Because I talk to a lot of people who, I am an old school guy. Like, I miss the days of going to a record store and buying a record and spending hours in the record store. Can't really do that. You can't really do that anymore. And I have people tell me, "Oh, I don't buy albums even anymore. I don't even buy vinyl. I'll just buy whatever the latest single is on on Amazon for 99 cents." And that's kind of a sad reality, And so, if you even have somebody like taking the time to listen to one of your songs and they play it all the way through, that's a sign right there that people are liking. Because a lot of people they'll go on YouTube, they won't even play the entire song. That after like the first 3 minutes, move on to the next song.
Yeah, my other band's got like 1,048 monthly listeners.
Yeah,
and that's not just because I'm a cool guy or something. It's because the songs are strong. I think that's why our listeners are going up, and hopefully the listeners go up for the Bosstel stuff too. We got some good stuff coming, man.
Yeah, and even though it's not huge at this point, you're building that fan base. Even like what I do when I post these interviews, the numbers aren't huge, but I continue to do it. I enjoy doing it, and then also I see that we have a lot of the same people. Whenever we post a new interview or something, they go and check it out. And like I said, we don't get the kind of numbers that some of these other rock and metal sites get, but we do have our core audience, and so we can.
I'm a cabinet builder at work, so I stand at a table.
Yeah.
I listen to music or I listen to podcasts while I'm working.
There you go.
And every time you guys have an episode, I listen to it because I love Joe and I like how you guys talk about everything. I just like listening to both you guys talk about that. Sometimes I don't even want to listen to music.
I mean, it's kind of it's a simple format in that it's like, even though I haven't known him like a whole number of years, it's like two old friends talking about the music they love. and that's what we try to do. And then a lot of times he turns me on to something, and you can kind of hear the enthusiasm when we're doing the show, I feel. And we got so many shows in the can, it's not even funny that we have enough shows that every 2 weeks we roll a new one out, and we just
do one on Lillian Axe.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I'll talk to him about that.
I just got Poetic Justice on vinyl.
Yeah, we just did a show last night on Helix, and that should be going up in the next couple of weeks. But yeah,
Lillian Axe was a great band, man. They didn't get their. I'm sorry, but I think Lillian Axe was better than Motley Crue, man.
Oh well, it's about how big of a push does the label give you, and the main guy in Lillian Axe, Steve Blaze. I mean, hats off to him. He's kept it going all these years, you know, and yeah. Well,
I wonder if he knows who I am. John Sturr actually lived with me in my apartment.
Wow.
He lived with me for a minute, and we made the first Praise the Fallen EP. We can talk about the next episode.
Yeah.
But the first EP I did with John Sturr, you know, pretty exciting to be working with somebody who was on MTV. He told me all the stories and stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, but it's also reality check when you see, you know, the way record labels are, the way the industry is now.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even need a label anymore, man. Just believe in what you're doing.
There you go.
Put some great songs together that, you know, my goal is I want to play on these big rock festivals. That's what I'd like to do with both of my bands. You know, and I think you can do it, man. I think if you got a good, solid product and you put on a solid show, you can get on these big rock fests if they're paying attention.
Yeah, I mean,
if they're paying attention to what you're writing.
Yeah. But then again, it's making sure they know about you. So you may have to like find out. Okay, you know, like once your single comes out, who can I send this to that'll help us maybe get on that bill. You know, because
it starts with people like you.
Yeah.
You know, word of mouth. Like, just interview here. The next interview I do with this person, another interview. Suddenly, there's going to be a buzz going, and be like, "Who's this Bosstel guy?" It's like, if you can't get the industry to work with you, then you're going to have to get them to come to you.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the way you can get them to come to you is by creating a buzz.
Yeah, you know,
create a buzz. You got to put something solid out there that's really strong. You got everybody singing along, man. That's what I believe.
Like one band that really came out of nowhere in the last years. I don't know if you've heard of a band, Vante, but pretty cool, like hard rock and metal and band, and just came out of nowhere. And then come to find out, the guitar player was featured on Tony Martin, the singer who used to be in Black Sabbath in the 80s, on his last solo album, wrote a lot of his stuff. So all of a sudden people are checking this band out. They're doing interviews and they're getting all kinds of press, but just out of nowhere, nobody ever heard of them. And you kind of see stuff like that. And I've been doing this long enough too. Like there's this band, Images of Eden. They've opened up like for Yngwie Malmsteen and stuff like that over the last couple of years. And their last couple albums just kind of been on fire, if you know what I mean, and they've been getting all kinds of press. And whenever they have something, the singer and the drummer reach out to me, "Hey man, we're getting ready to put out a new album. We want to do an interview with you." So that's the kind of thing we try to create. Like I've had you on now, and you already know you're welcome back. And next time I talk to you, we're gonna do a Zoom interview, because like I said, we started doing that this year, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. So again, Jammie, I had fun chatting with you and getting to know you. I'm the type of person I could talk to you, as you can tell, all day about music, and I think you have a similar attitude. And so thanks for reaching out to me. I really appreciate it. And feel free to post on any of my pages. You know, your music, your songs. We're all into that. Like I said, we're
okay. Well, if I could give them the website link and that right now.
Yeah, I'll send that to you later. Okay. Yeah.
BosstelOfficial.com is the website.
Okay.
Bosstel Official on Facebook, Bosstel Official on Instagram. I think it's Bosstel Official Reverb Nation as well. And then, Bosstel Official on YouTube. Pretty simple.
So, yeah, it's all in the name, but I think it's working for you, you know?
Yeah, we kept it simple, you know, like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it's almost at the top of the alphabet, you know, just the second letter, B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
BOSSTEL.
Yeah.
Official.
There you go. Yeah, no mistaking who you are. I don't think there's another Bosstel out there. That's why it's a good name too. So you grabbed onto that. You take care, Jammie. And the interview, like I said, I'm planning to post it like maybe a week from this Thursday. Once I have that confirmed, I'll let you know. And feel free to share it with all your fans. Okay?
Okay, man.
Take care. Bye bye.
All right. Thanks.
Anytime.
Chaotic Riffs Magazine.